I've been replaying Link's Awakening, playing through the remake for the first time when I was struck dumb by a revelation near the end that had me rethinking many of the common interpretations of this game's story, specifically its ending. And no, it's not that revelation. It's a revelation about Marin. I think she's up to something. So let's talk about Koholint and Link and why I think Marin is real. Marin is much different than any other villager on Koholint because she knows a lot about the Windfish. If we exclude the owl who, for all intents and purposes, is the Windfish, his statues, and the nightmares who have penetrated his dream, then Marin is one of two characters who talk directly about the Windfish. The other is a line from this boy who isn't very sure of himself. Every other character feels like a fish unaware they're living in water. She knows the Ballad of the Windfish, which is constantly referred to as a song of awakening or her song, and which everyone seems to love. In her conversation with Link along the shoreline, she says, "If I wish to the Windfish, I wonder if my wish will come true." Wish to the Windfish? No one ever mentions anything like this. She doubles down after teaching Link the Ballad, saying, "If the Windfish wakes up, will he make my dream come true?" Does Marin have this special knowledge of the Windfish because she's familiar with him in reality? Now, if Marin is real, why hasn't she awakened the Windfish? Well, it may be that she doesn't realize anything is wrong. We are told the Windfish has been asleep for a long time, but would Marin be aware of how long it's actually been? There's not really a clear explanation of how time works on the island, even if by the end we understand that time in the dream and in real life work much differently. Now this is where Link comes in. Both Marin and the owl tell him that since his arrival there has been an outbreak of monsters. Again, without this outbreak, why would Marin assume anything was wrong? But there's also something different about Link. During the first two meetings, the owl tasks Link with waking the Windfish, referring to him as brave and courageous. These are the only times he refers to Link in this way until after the nightmares are destroyed, though he constantly reinforces the need to wake the Windfish. Once Link has obtained the first instrument of the sirens, the owl says, "I have to admit, at first I did not believe you were real. But this is strange because I was just describing how the owl is sure of Link's qualities and the monster's response to him. So why think him unreal?" The explanation for this is in the timing of when the owl makes this claim, after Link has obtained that first instrument. The owl knows Link is part of the dream, though not created by it, perhaps like Marin. But now he knows, with the first nightmare defeated, that he is really and truly a hero capable of waking the Windfish. This is different from Marin, and any other character for that matter, who when confronted with a dungeon refuses to enter it. How could anyone play this song to awaken the Windfish when they're incapable of even collecting the instruments? So why would the owl guide them? This doesn't mean that Marin isn't an actual person, it just means she isn't real in the sense that she is incapable of being the hero. And because of this, no one else on the island would ever make it past the Armos night to know about the island's true nature. But even so, Marin questions the island. Tarin tells her there's nothing beyond the sea. So where do coconuts come from, she wonders. Marin is perceptive in a way no one else is. Not only does she refuse to believe that there is nothing beyond the sea, she knows, like the owl, Link is different, that he has come to give us a message. Then there are the nightmares, who at the beginning of the game merely act as barriers to the instruments of the sirens. And let's be clear, they are the villains in this story. They have taken advantage of the Windfish's slumber, prolonging it indefinitely, to fulfill their desire to become, as they say, masters of this place. But eventually, as he collects more instruments and the Windfish grows more restless, the nightmares confront Link. They first admonish him, calling him foolish, before turning desperate, making clear that if the Windfish wakes, not only will the island be destroyed, but everything on it, Link included, who is also part of this dream. It makes them especially manipulative. They are parasites unable to relinquish their firm grip on this dream, not for any concern about the island and its inhabitants, but for their own selfish gain. But by the end, we know what they say isn't exactly true. When the island vanishes, Link doesn't disappear. They are wrong about the nature of Link, which means they can be wrong about others on the island as well. And here's where we get to the revelation. Late into the game, along the central range of the Tall Mountains, Link saves Marin after monsters put her in a precarious position. Once safe, she starts to tell Link something, but Tarin interrupts her. The two leave, and before Link continues on, the owl, who has guided Link across Koholint for the breadth of our adventure, swoops down and says, "That girl sang her song in front of the egg. Did she actually intend to wake the windfish?" And then he moves on as if this didn't demand further scrutiny, which of course it does. Marin is always looking outward, from the beach across the ocean's great expanse, singing her song for others, garnering their affections, and rightfully so. But here, for the first time, she looks in, toward the egg on the mountain. Marin is taking her dream into her own hands. She talks about singing to all the people far and wide, and so she finally decides to put that dream into action. She's compelled in a way that the other inhabitants are not. And we know, given the right circumstances, that other beings can become entangled in the dream. Link does, the nightmares do. Who's to say that Marin didn't arrive on Koholint in a similar way to Link? Stuck in the windfish's dream, but full of hopes and fears and goals and dreams beyond these sleeping lids, and powerless to open them until Link's arrival. But none of this makes Link's choice at the end easier. The right thing to do is to destroy the nightmares and wake the windfish. In fact, it makes his choice more difficult personally. He could remain in the windfish's dream along with Marin and live peacefully, but instead, he sets her free, and in doing so, he loses her. And that is why he's the hero. Once the windfish awakens and Link is back adrift, another strange thing happens. When he sees the windfish pass overhead, Link smiles. Then in the no-death cutscene, we see a vision of Marin and a seagull flies past. This doesn't mean Marin has turned into a seagull. The symbolism of the bird is clear. It symbolizes Marin's freedom, her liberation from the island. With the windfish awake, Link knows Marin is finally free to chase her dream. Although the windfish's dream created the island with people, animals, a whole world, that doesn't mean it was all an illusion, nor the people in it. The memories, like Marin, can still be real, but sometimes we have to do as the owl says. Trust your feelings and destroy our comforts, our illusions, turn our backs to the endless sea, and instead sing our song to the windfish, because those who look outside dream, but those who look inside awaken.